Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your boy. I'm your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, lieutenants of old Captain Will. We're going to have a good one today, y'all. We're going to have a good one today, y'all. We are streaming live and in Technicolor. You're now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Okay. All right. So that just happened. The South Carolina Gamecocks just beat a very good team in Utah. Utah Utes put up a great fight. We did not play our best, but Utah played well, I must say. And it was pretty close to what I thought was going to happen in terms of the point spread. In terms of point spread, I thought we was going to win by 10, 15 points. We ended up winning by 9 points. But I tell you, it wasn't easy. It was some times when I was watching this old game. It was some times when I was watching this old game today when I got a little nervous. Got a little nervous. Yeah, it was some tough sledding at times today, especially all these fouls being called, especially all these turnovers. But at the end of the day, South Carolina won, and we continue our 9-0 season. And we will remain number one, not only in the AP poll, but in the net rankings, because this is a big victory for South Carolina, beating this team who was 11th in the AP poll, but 4th in the net rankings. It just is what it is. It is what it is. We won. And in honor of winning this victory, you know how I do. You know how I represent. And if you're new to Captain Will, this is how I do it. I'm talking about the Twitter audience that we got right now. We talking about the new ones who are just showing up to join the family. Oh, anytime there's a victory, it's a party. Anytime there's a victory, it's a party for South Carolina. And we're going to do it. And I got the old big boy. I got the big boy shot glass today. And they played at Mohegan Sun today. So I got the old shot glass from Mohegan Sun. And we doing a shot of some Tito's vodka. Celebrate the victory today. So, in honor of the victory today, y'all don't know the assignment. Get your shot glasses up. Get your water. Get your peach Gatorade. Get your sweet tea. Get your milk. Whatever the case may be, you get it up, and we will do a shot to this victory today. All right, let's do it. Let's go, y'all. It was tough today. It was tough. We had a gang of turnovers. We had a bunch of turnovers today. And we had a hostile crowd full of old UConn fans. And I was upset when the game started. Why was I upset? Because I saw Rebecca Lobo calling our game. And so I wasn't happy from the beginning. Because we're not going to get a fair shot from her. You already know that. You already know my thoughts and feelings about that one right there. So we didn't get no there's a lot of biasness coming from the old media announce team, I just wasn't starting the game off right like that. You know what I'm saying? So we got the Rebecca Lobo fanfare against the Gamecocks, and then we got the referees calling everything under the sun. We had half our team about to foul out in the first half. Nobody could get a rhythm. Nobody. And that included us. That included Utah, because they about to foul out too. Here's a fun fact. The fun fact is, referees, we don't play to see y'all. Nobody's there to see a referee unless your mama, your daddy, or your kids. Nobody else is there to see the referees, all right? I just want to say that. We are there to see great basketball at 2:30 in the afternoon in the Mohegan Sun, and we want to see that. That's what we want to see. Nobody want to hear all these stops and goals. Nobody want to see all this stoppage of plays. Nobody want to see all the best players be on the bench. We ain't paying for that. We want to see the best players playing in the basketball game. So at times, just swallow the whistle. You don't need to call every damn thing. We don't need all that. We don't need all that at all. So what we need to do, just continue to call the basketball game. We want to see Kamilla Carodoso on the floor. We want to see Alissa Pili on the floor. And we got to talk a whole lot about her tonight. But we want to see the best playing against the best, whatever the case may be, not sitting on the bench. We did not pay big dollars to see that. We did not get the tailgating going on and get the chicken wings and the biscuits and the sweet tea and the pig feet and hog maws all together so we can watch y'all call all the games. I don't want to see all that. I want to see those stoppages in play. I just want to see good basketball. That's a note to the referees as we go forward in this season, okay? Not just for South Carolina, but all the top level teams. That's what we want to see. So with that being said, we didn't play South Carolina basketball today. It was something. It was something, but we pulled out the victory. So we're going to break it down like we always break it down. We just go through some of the stats. We go through some of the stats. And South Carolina, we're going to have to start with the bad. We're going to start with the bad. Let's do this right here. We had 23 turnovers. Let's say that one more time. The Gamecocks, the number one basketball team in the country, the number one basketball team in all the land and college basketball, Division 1, 2, 3, high school, junior college, whatever the case may be, we had too many turnovers. We had 23 turnovers. That is not championship level basketball. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you dice it, no matter what you say, what you do, that is not championship level basketball. We have to cut down the turnovers. Now, with that being said, with the turnovers came some of, when you get an offensive foul, that's a turnover. We had a whole heap of offensive fouls multiple times. So, but 23 turnovers and 23 turnovers. So we had Raven with 5 turnovers. Now, Raven is my favorite player on this basketball team. I don't hide it. I don't sugarcoat it. She's like one of the family. Hell, she look like one of my kids. I don't sugarcoat that at all. What I will say this right here, Raven and I had a stellar game that I am used to. I am accustomed to seeing from one Hollywood Raven Johnson. But it's basketball. It happens sometimes. But Raven had 5 turnovers. It ain't going to happen again. That won't happen again. But she had 5 turnovers. Captain Will, I keep it real. I have to keep it real. My favorite player had 5 turnovers. She had 5 turnovers, and she wasn't the only one because Kamilla Carodoso had 4 turnovers. She had 4 turnovers because a good bulk of those was those doggone offensive fouls. Now, we know that Utah was doing some old flopping. We know they were flopping all over the floor. And I tell you this right here, number 22 for Utah, that girl need an ice bath. She need a massage. She need she need to take she need to take Monday and Tuesday off because she gave up her body the whole game. She was taking the elbows. She was taking it to the chest. She was taking it everywhere, getting smacked around. That's a tough girl. I don't know her name. I think her last name is Johnson. I don't know her name, but she is tough. She took every foul that we gave, and we got some strong girls. You talking about Ashlyn Watkins. You talking about Kamilla Carodoso. You talking about Chloe Kiss. We got some strong girls on our basketball team. Sanaya Fagan, and she was taking blows from all of them. She just kept coming. Much respect to her. So you had Raven Johnson with 5 turnovers. Kamilla Carodoso with 4 turnovers. Oh, Malaysia Fulwiley herself, the superstar, had 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. Again, a couple of those was offensive fouls. So we had a lot of turnovers because of offensive fouls. And in some cases, just bad basketball play. It happened, y'all. It happened. 4 turnovers from Malaysia. We had 3 turnovers for lights out herself, Te-Hina Paopao, and it's just a lot of turnovers. Lots of turnovers. 2 for Chloe and 1 for Watkins. It just turnovers, y'all. Turnovers. We did not take care of the ball. This is a basketball team in South Carolina who averages 12 turnovers a game. Well, tonight we had 23. Today we had 23 turnovers. So we got to continue to take care of the ball. We got to take care of the ball against those really good basketball teams. We have to, because there are going to be games. We just had one against Utah, who probably is an Elite 8 team, Final 4 team, and we can't continue to do that. Our next real basketball game is against LSU on January the 25th. We cannot have 23 turnovers against LSU. We can't do that. We cannot allow that to happen. But right now, we're talking about Utah. And Utah did what I thought they was going to do, what everybody thought they was going to do. They do what they do well. They are an analytics type team. They are straight off the NBA stat list, their strategy, all these things. All they do is layups and 3-pointers. That is all they do. They don't shoot no mid-range jumpers, none at all. Everything is threes and layups. That's how they play basketball. And it's efficient for them. It's efficient for them. So now we did, as far as defensively, we did what we needed to do in this basketball game because Utah was not efficient from the three-point line. They weren't efficient from the three-point line. We are one of the top teams in terms of defending the three, and we did it again. We ran them off the three-point line. They shot 25% from the three-point line. That was 5 for 20. So we did that portion of the basketball game in terms of defensive efficiency at the three-point line. We did not. This was not a close game because they shot well from the three. It just wasn't. They were 5 for 20. Now, offensively, now they shot 45% from the field. Utah. That is around that. They shoot. No, because they had the highest field goal percentage across the country. And we're talking about 360 teams. They have, and they got a player, Alissa Pili. That girl made some money tonight. She made some money tonight, y'all. She proved that she is her. She made some money tonight. And I've seen games of Utah before, but in front of all these WNBA scouts, in front of the world at 14:30 today, the girl put on a show. She put on a show. And Dawn Staley said it best, after the third quarter when they was doing the interview. She said it best. We can't stop her. We can't stop her. We've used everybody, and nobody can stop her. She and my main man, Neil, he said it the right way. Neil said, she's like Charles Barkley. She is just like Charles Barkley when he was in college and early in his NBA career. She's undersized, but she is so efficient, so many old school moves that she is dominant. She is dominant. They say she's 6'2". She ain't no 6'2". She may be 6 foot, maybe 6 foot and a half. But I tell you this right here, she was giving our girls work. She put a 30-piece, almost a 40-piece of barbecue chicken on us all game long. She had 37 points. And the only reason she didn't have 40 or 45 points was she was in foul trouble. She was doing what she wanted to do at will in this basketball game. Now, she can't guard me at all. She can't guard me in my 48-old-year self, but she can play offensively. Oh, she the truth. She is the truth. And if she is not a first round pick, then I'm crazy. I am a little crazy anyway, but she is an elite offensive player. Inside, she got post moves. She's almost automatic at the three-point line. The girl is the truth. And Utah has a great one. And I tell you this right here. I don't want to see Utah. I don't want to see Utah no more. I don't want to see Utah in the tournament. I don't want to see them no more. Nope. I don't want to see them no more. They are a good basketball team. Now, we beat them by 9 points. She is what she is, but I would say this right here. They played the right way in terms of hitting. They're so efficient. I'm not a fan of the analytics and or whatever that stuff is in terms of we ain't shooting no mid-range jumpers because you're basically taking yourself out of a good shot. But for what they do well. They do well. And she's really good. Now, let's talk about our players. And we're going to begin. We're going to start with Te-Hina Paopao. We're going to start by Te-Hina Paopao. And Te-Hina Paopao, with the South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball team, is one of the best closers in the country. Yeah, I said it. She's one of the best closers in the country. And why you say that, Cam? Well, I say that because Te-Hina Paopao is so smooth, so sweet, pretty jumper, handle the ball, so efficient, and you want her shooting those shots at the end of the game. You saw that little runner she did. It's just a teardrop runner she did, just so pretty. You saw that late three that she did. That is Te-Hina Paopao. Te-Hina Paopao is our closer. And I was telling my wife, we watching the game, I said, you want Te-Hina Paopao to shoot the ball. You want her to have the ball in the last possession of this basketball game. Because she's going to get an efficient shot. She's not going to shoot something crazy. She's not going to make the wrong mistake. And 9 times out of 10, she's going to make the shot. So she is my Captain Will's all-star, my soldier of the day. She is the one today. Te-Hina Paopao finished 6 for 11. She was 3 for 7 from the three-point line. She came into the game shooting about 53%, about 52% from the three-point line, 11th in the country. Well, she was very efficient again, shooting 3 for 7, just a shade under 50%. You already know that you're going to get Te-Hina Paopao, and when she goes in every basketball game, she's going to be, if not the best shooter in the basketball game, she's going to be one of the two. She's going to be one of the two, and she's going to shoot efficiently. Okay, so I said before the season began, I said that I wanted Te-Hina Paopao to shoot 6 to 8 3-pointers a game. Well, when Te-Hina Paopao is shooting that thing, lights out herself, good things happen because she's going to hit by half of them. That is Te-Hina Paopao. So Te-Hina Paopao finished with 15 points, 3 for 7 from the three-point line, 6 for 11 overall. She also had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. She played efficient basketball. So she had 3 turnovers. But that is the only flaw of the basketball game today in terms of the stats for Te-Hina Paopao. All in all, she balled out today. And then don't forget the defensive side of the court. Te-Hina Paopao played her butt off defensively. She has improved so much from the player that I've seen in Oregon to the player that she is right now on the defensive side of the ball. I love it. I want to see more of it. And the more we get of Te-Hina Paopao for this season, the more likelihood the Gamecocks will be in the Final Four. That is it. Te-Hina Paopao is the catalyst for this basketball team to raise another banner in 2024. She plays well. We are going to win against the great teams. We're gonna dominate against the average teams, the above average teams. And I'm talking about the great teams. I'm talking about the Utahs. I'm talking about the UCLAs. I'm talking about teams like that. The great teams. We have to have Te-Hina Paopao having 15 to 20 points every single game against the great opponents. That's what we have. So we're talking about Te-Hina Paopao. Then we're gonna move on to let's say Kamilla Carodoso. We're going to talk about Kamilla Carodoso for a brief. So Kamilla Carodoso, you look at the stat line, she has 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 4 turnovers, and 4 fouls. Now, Te-Hina Paopao. See, I already got Te-Hina Paopao on my brain. Kamilla was 6 for 9 from the field. She was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Okay. Now, y'all know I love me some Kamilla Carodoso. But I tell you this right here. On the defensive end, on defensive side of the ball tonight, Kamilla Carodoso was not there. And I love her game. And that's what I was watching with Kamilla Carodoso tonight. Ashley Pili was taking a lunch today. She was taking a lunch today, and she didn't ask for it. She really did. She was like a little kid who took your lunch and punched you in the nose. That's how Ashley Pili was working her today. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I don't like that unaggressive on the defensive side of the ball. It was several easy layups, not just with Pili. It was just with some guards, just getting some open layups. And I was like, what in the hell? This is not South Carolina basketball. This is not what we're accustomed to. This is not the stellar defensive play that we need. It was some uncontested layups. It was some shake and bake. It was some Akeem Olajuwon shots going on. I just couldn't see. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Now, Kamilla Carodoso obviously was dominant on the offensive end when she received the ball, but she was in foul trouble the first half, so she didn't play much the first half. But I would say this right here. Kamilla Carodoso is what she is. We've been saying that all year long, and we have to take so the first. This is the point I'm trying to make. So the first substitution was Ashlyn Watkins for Kamilla Carodoso. Okay, that was the first thing because Pili was taking, like I said, she was taking a lunch, and so Watkins came in and defended her decently. Nobody defended her great. No one defended Ashley Pili great today. But I think that Watkins did a better job than anybody tonight. But she didn't do great with the defense, and she just. Pili had the game of her life. She had a career high. She was on ESPN. Everybody watching, and she made money today. But as far as Kamilla Carodoso today, I don't defensively. She just didn't do it for me today. She ain't do it for me today. So you look at the stat line. She had 17 points, and what I do like about Kamilla today, she had 5 for 5 from the free throw line. I love that. And the Gamecocks overall was 67% from the free throw line. So she is a player who on the offensive end will find a way to get the ball into the basket, either at the field goal or at the free throw line. But I'm just talking about defensively. Defensively, because a lot of people always say, yeah, we miss Ashley, Aaliyah Boston. We miss Aaliyah Boston. We do miss Aaliyah Boston. But you know where? The commentators do a horrible job with this because they do stat for stat. Stat for stat. Kamilla Carodoso is averaging this, and which is better than what Aliyah Boston averaged last year. Different team, different set of circumstances. All those things are different. What I tell you, what we miss on the defensive side of the ball for this basketball team is the defensive presence that Aliyah Boston brought. Now, Aliyah Boston was defensive player of the year, so damn it, everybody would miss her. But I'm saying, like, one-on-one, Imano against Imano, or Womano against Womano, I don't know what the term is you have a player in Aliyah Boston who could give Alissa Pili a run for her money. Kamilla Carodoso has to continue to work defensively, y'all. She has to continue to work defensively. Now, I know we ain't gonna see no Alissa Pili every time we play. We ain't gonna. I'll tell you this right here. LSU ain't got no Alissa Pili. They don't have one, and Tennessee don't have one. They got Rakia Jackson, but she scores the ball different. I ain't seen nobody this year like Alissa Pili. I have not seen none. Not now, none. That girl is the truth. She is the truth. So going forward, just stop with the comparisons and, hit me in the mentions and the DMs and all this stuff comparing Aliyah Boston, Kamilla Carodoso. Aliyah Boston was one of the best players, number 1, number 2 player in the history of South Carolina basketball, and was Rookie of the Year, going to have multiple All-Stars in the WNBA. They are two different players, okay? So let's forget that and let's stop right there. Then we're going to talk about, let's talk about Chloe. I'm trying to figure out the nickname. I got a lot of different suggestions. I tried out Chloe Skordashian, and a lot of people didn't care for that. They didn't care for that too much. So I liked it. I'm just saying I liked it. I heard a little bit of Chloe the Cobra. I like that right there. It was one from the Game of Thrones that was really good, but I can't remember right now. So we're gonna go with Chloe the Cobra, because you mess with the blonde hair and the eyelashes, you might get struck. That's how Chloe plays. So Chloe did the same thing that she's been doing all season long. She had 11 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 turnovers and 2 fouls, and 1 glare and 1 hair flip. That's what Chloe did. 4 for 7 from the field goal range, 3 for 6. She got to improve. She got to improve her free throw shooting, but all the team has to. But Chloe does what Chloe's supposed to do. The Cobra does what she's supposed to do. She puts in work. I like that too. Chloe buckets. I like that one. Chloe buckets. But I mean, you get what you're gonna get with Chloe. Buckets. Chloe, we're gonna play hard. She's going to play aggressive. She's going to do some good passes. She's going to finish at the basket. She's going to fall down by 2, 3, 4 times. She might get tangled up with somebody. She's going to do a stare. She's going to do a half flip. She's going to do all those different things that Chloe is going to do, that we are accustomed to seeing her do. And she is never going to be intimidated by any opponent that South Carolina plays. She is coming to her own. She got double figures again, y'all. Almost a double-double. She is putting in that work. And she passed the ball well. She had 4 assists. Yeah, Chloe had as many assists as Raven Johnson did. Raven had 4 assists. Chloe had 4 assists. That should not be understated. That should not be understated. And Chloe, this time last year, Chloe was still in high school. Chloe was still in high school, y'all. Don't forget that. I know they keep saying she's a sophomore. In Captain Will's mind, she ain't a sophomore till next month, talking about January. That's when she's officially a sophomore in my mind. That she'll be 12 months here in the program, okay? She is still, in my mind, a freshman, okay? But Chloe is doing work. And yes, she got to get stronger. Yes, she has to get stronger, but she is getting stronger. You get another year of with Molly, and you're just going to get stronger, get faster, be more flexible, and more endurance. All those great things, okay? Chloe is going to be an excellent player for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, she's already a really good player. But you're talking about an excellent player in Chloe Cobra buckets all day long. Let's talk about whoever we're going to talk about. Who's the next one? Let's talk about Malaysia Fulwiler. And ESPN. I think in ESPN, I think they got to say, because you know how ESPN does. They this is how it goes, right? They do what's trending. So whatever's trending, they're going to say 5, 6, 7, 8 times. They're going to say Malaysia Fulwiley 12 times, and she might be sitting on the bench. And, and I love Malaysia. I love the old girl from Keenan, old country girl, Lay. I love her. And she is the truth. She is the truth. But ESPN is biased with everybody, and you got to get some love and some shine with some of these other players, y'all. I'm just saying, ESPN, if y'all are listening, is 11 players on this roster. Talk about some Tessa, talk about some Bree, talk about some Raven. The only time I heard Raven name tonight is when she make a mistake. You better talk about some Te-Hina Paopao you did later on in the game, but come on, we got more players than Malaysia Fulwiley. I'm just saying. Just to let you know. Now, Malaysia did what she did. She got me out my seats. She had me throw my sweet tea while I was watching the game because she did a move. And this was the thing right here, because Utah ain't great defending. Okay. Malaysia shake one, almost broke Alissa Pili's knees up, and it's just and she finished at the basket. Now, that was good at Malaysia. She shot 3 for 3. 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. One of them was an NBA 3. That was good. That was good. She put in that work. Because the girl is special. Special. Dawn said she's a generational player. And that is the honest to goodness truth. She is a generational player, and we are so blessed and so lucky to have her on this basketball team. You're pretty much going to have the FBC United basketball team on South Carolina next year with Malaysia, with Raven, with Joyce. All of them played together, and Kamilla. Everybody played together. You know what I'm saying? So it's just nice. It's just nice to see. But she had her flaws too. Now she had a couple of offensive turnovers and a few regular turnovers, and she got pulled from the game. Now, sometimes I'd be like, Dawn, just let it stay a little bit, just work her way through it. But she did back-to-back turnovers, and Dawn pulled her out the game. So and Dawn said early in the season, before the season even started, she said, you got to take the goods, you got to take the bads, you just got to continue to work through it. She's going to do the sensational plays, but also she's going to do some negative plays. She is so good. Sometimes she's out of control. She's sometimes out of control because she's so fast. She's so fast and so quick, and she knows she can get her own shot whenever she wants it. You're the girl. I'm telling you, there ain't nobody, man or woman in college basketball that got the handles that Malaysia have. Nobody. I would love to see it. I know damn for sure. Nobody in women's basketball got better handles than her. Nobody. So the girl is unbelievable. But as a freshman who is still learning, and the growth that she is displaying, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. 2 years from now, you're talking about player of the year type stuff in the SEC and All-American type stuff all across the board. That is Malaysia Fulwiley. I have no idea what her ceiling is. I have no idea, because she's so special. But we got to work through the goods and the bads with Malaysia Fulwiley. We have to work through those. So Malaysia Fulwiley, and let's see, we're going to talk about, let's talk about Raven. I talked a little bit about the turnovers. So, and I said about, she was my favorite player, and she didn't play well today. So she did not play well. She was 1 for 6 from the field today. She was 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. She had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 5 turnovers, and two fouls. Finished with 2 points, 4 assists. That's not Raven Johnson basketball. That wasn't. And you have your good games, you have your bad games, and you have your average games. Today was a bad game for Raven Johnson. It just happens, y'all. We saw it today, and you talking about the 9th basketball game. This is the first game she had a bad game. Okay, so it happens. It happens. Do I expect that to happen often with Raven? Not at all. I expect her to be the truth for sure against Presbyterian. We got East Carolina coming up. We're gonna beat the brakes off of them. We got Bowling Green coming up, beat the brakes off of them, and then we start SEC play. So Raven Johnson had a hiccup. That's all it was. It was a hiccup. And she would be back, and she would be back to the Hollywood fashion that we've been used to for these past 8 basketball games, okay? It is still growth. She is a sophomore, and she's going to have her ups and downs throughout the season. Today was a downtime. It was a downtime. So Raven, I look for her to show up and show out the next 3 games and finish out this December, what year is it? 2023 season, 2023 month, year, all that stuff. I expect her to play well. Let's talk about who I haven't talked about yet. We talk about Bree Hall. Bree Hall had been on fire the last 3 basketball games, shooting 75% from the 3-point line. Well, she didn't shoot 75% today. She shot 0 for 3 for today. And at times it looked, she hit some clutch shots, though, because she still finished 3 for 8 and had a steal. No, that was that play. She had a block shot and a layup at the other end. She plays so hard on the defensive side of the ball. You have to give her credit on the defensive side of the ball. It was a couple times she got beat, but that's basketball. That is basketball, and we continue to do that. But Bree Hall, as a perimeter defender at 6'1", is really good on the defensive side of the ball. Today, her 3 ball wasn't falling. It wasn't falling. She was 1 for 1 from the free throw line, and she had 4 rebounds. She had 2 block shots, and she had finished with 7 points, only 1 turnover. Okay, so Bree Hall played, I would say, okay. She played okay. That's all, okay. Okay offensively and good defensively. That's Bree Hall. Now we play Presbyterian. She's gonna play absolutely awesome. We play East Carolina. She's gonna play absolutely amazing. We play old Bowling Green. I think in Ohio, she's gonna play like Breezy Hall is. She just had a setback today. That is all it was. Okay, so we got Bree Hall. We already talked about so many players. Who else am I talking about? I'm gonna talk about Sanaya Fagan. Let's talk about Sanaya Fagan, who got a little run today. 1 for 2 from the field. She got 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Made a couple of good, solid rebounds. Finished with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 3 points, 3 fouls. Sanaya Fagan is starting to feel her way through this season. She's feeling her way through the season. We 9 games in. We almost a quarter of the way through this season. And what you see in Sanaya Fagan is she's good offensively. She's getting better defensively. She's 6'3". She can score the ball. It seems like she could, to me, just with my old eyes, it seems like she can score the ball more at will, but sometimes she just don't do it. I'm just saying. Sometimes she just don't do it. So, but Sanaya Fagan is a really good player. She's a really good player. And I know I'm going to hear some stuff, and I probably got some stuff in the comments right now talking about Sanaya Fagan. I like Sanaya Fagan. Sanaya Fagan is a really good player, and she's getting better. Everybody matures, gets better at their own pace. Not the pace that I want, not the pace that you might want, maybe not the pace that she wants, but she is getting better incrementally. Don talked about Sakima Walker, how she is getting better and better and better. The goal for this basketball team right now for Sanaya Fagan, for Sakima Walker, for Sanaya Ja, players like that, Tessa Johnson, players like that are to be at a great point when we come tournament time where they can be dependable, because like it or not, here it is, y'all, like it or not, we're going to need a solid Sanaya Fagan for us to win this old championship. We're going to need a Sakima Walker hitting some shots and being big defensively if we want to win a championship. Kamilla Carodoso, Ashlyn Watkins can't do it by themselves, okay? They can't do it. It ain't going to happen. We need solid play from Sanaya Fagan, Sakima Walker, from the post position. And incrementally, we're going to do it. I don't worry about Tessa Johnson whatsoever. At all. I don't worry about her. She's 6'1". She gets scored at basketball. She works so hard defensively. Not worried about her. Not worried about her at all. Ashlyn Watkins had another 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. This is what you're going to get from Ashlyn Watkins every single game. Every single game. You're going to look at the box score and say, she got about 8 to 10 points. She's going to have about 6 or 7 rebounds. Tonight she had 6 rebounds. She got 2 or 3 blocks. Tonight she had 2 blocks. I mean, that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get from Ashlyn Watkins. Coming off the bench, she's going to play hard. She's going to play tough. She's going to play aggressive. She's going to look amazing blocking a shot. She's going to almost have a tip dunk. Who gets a tip dunk? I mean, the girl is, her athleticism is out of the charts, out of the world, out the whatever. It's just something. It's just something like, oh my God. So she's going to continue to do that stuff. And then you talking about Ashlyn Watkins, who's a sophomore, and there's so much growth, man. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So Tessa played a little bit, got some runs. Sakima played a little bit, got some run. And that is really it. That is really it. We played a tough basketball team in a hostile environment because you had all those UConn fans screaming for Utah. You better know. I know you don't like South Carolina. You don't like South Carolina, but you better be careful who you're cheering for because you're cheering for Utah tonight because you thought they was going to beat us. But heck, you better be worried about your team and playing against North Carolina, and you might have to play Utah. Are you serious? Y'all cheering for Utah? Y'all just despise us that much? You despise South Carolina that much? You're going to be cheering for possibly a future opponent because you want Carolina to lose so much? Well, I tell you right here, when we see y'all February, I believe the game is February 10th, February 11th. I think it's Super Bowl day. Whatever the day it is, you ain't gonna have no Utah chance then when you're playing at Colonial Life Arena. Like, I'm gonna remember that. I got receipts on that. All that crazy stuff you're cheering for old Utah, trying to make it a home game for them. But it didn't work. It didn't matter. You still lost. You lost against your cheering team in Utah, and you're gonna lose against North Carolina. And I can't wait till we play y'all. We're gonna beat the brakes off y'all too. So yeah, made me sick over there cheering like it's a home game. Like, y'all pathetic. Go sit down somewhere. Like, so let's go through some of these comments. We already 35 minutes in. The time is flying by. I tell you. Let's go backwards. Let's go backwards. So y'all bear with me. So we're gonna go backwards. So Justin said lots of flopping calls with 22. These cases, Carodoso getting penalized just for being big and strong. And that's the tough thing. That is the tough thing with our basketball team. And it was some flopping. There were those, a couple of them with some blows, a couple of them with some shoulders and some hips and some all these different things, but in the end of the day, yeah, it was a couple of flops. But like I said before, 22 gonna have to get take a go. She probably sleep right now. Because she's sore. I know she's sore. And Soul G, fam. Why is Rebecca Lobo covering our game? She's a hater and obvious with it. It just makes my blood boil. It just makes me just creates ash on my knees. It just gets on me. It's just like every time. I don't like the biased stuff. Because you're gonna be biased. This is what you need to do. If you're gonna be biased like that, have me and Rebecca Lobo on the podcast together. She can cheer for the other team. I can cheer for the other team too. We can go blow for blow because it's so obvious. You know what I'm saying? Just so obvious. I saw the game with UCLA, and you call pretty much a straight game, and then the game continued. The next game come on, and of course it's South Carolina, and it was like, come on, let's keep it real. We already know where your allegiance lie, and they put Rebecca Lobo when we play UConn. Oh man. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Mr. J, Pili just assured she is drafted in the league with this performance. Oh, Pili's going to be a first-round pick because she played against, and one of the commentators said it, she basically playing against WNBA players now young WNBA players, because we got several players on this basketball team who are going to be playing in the W, but she made her money today. She is very, very nice. I just, whoa. Oh, man. Justin with the inside scoop. Pili is smooth. She's athletic as heck. Comes from an athletic family. Her brother is a rookie D-lineman for the Dolphins. Appreciate you, brother. I made you, Mr. J, I made you need to stop predicting the scores. Nope. I was pretty much right. I said 15, though. We would have won by 15. If we would have had 4 less turnovers, we would have won by 15. I say, well, Michelle J, hey party people. Oh, she got Michelle. I hope you had your shot glass. I see you got the emoji. GTL family good, close game. Ladies find a way to win playing all different styles of teams. Glad coach schedules these non-conference games early to gain experience. Michelle, you made an excellent point. You made a great point with that because you only get better by playing tough games and tough environments. Yes, it was a tough environment. This was an away game. This was an away game against a very tough team that might be a League 8 or a Final Four type basketball team this year. So you had a tough game. You had 2 tough games against Duke, and I don't know what the hell happened with Duke losing against Clemson. They didn't show up. I was like, what in the world? But Duke played the game of their life against us and then laid a big old egg against Clemson and just forgot how to shoot a basketball and defend. And then we played against North Carolina. Those are 3 tough basketball teams. Okay, so it only makes you better. And we continue to strive and get better. 9-0. Now we have a quote unquote soft schedule up until we play LSU. We don't play a ranked team until January the 25th. If everything holds true, Tennessee might get back. I'm not sure when Rickea Jackson's coming back. And when she comes back, they will be, most likely back in the top 25. But right now, we have some stat stuffer games over the next month and a half. Okay. Then we play a good game against LSU. Then we play a good game against Connecticut. But for the most part, basketball for South Carolina Gamecocks are going great. It's going strong. And we are continuing to stack days against quality teams. Okay. So not many other teams can say that they have beaten multiple teams that are ranked this year. Not many teams can say that. Now, to me, at my eyes, at the 9-game mark, the best 2 teams in the country is South Carolina and UCLA. Okay, but we don't play UCLA unless we're in the tournament. And odds are South Carolina will be a number 1 seed and UCLA will be a number 1 seed. So the only way, real talk, if we're going to play UCLA is in the championship game. And that would be a game of the ages if South Carolina, who I think is the number 1 team, and UCLA is the number 2 team. What if both teams are undefeated at a national championship game with Lauren Betts at 6'8", Kamilla Carodoso is 6'7"? I mean, just so many different WNBA players, future WNBA players on the court at the same time. I tell you that every WNBA scout will be at that basketball game. Now, I know we are fast forwarding months because injuries can happen, things can happen, but I'm just saying of today, of December the 10th, the 2 best teams is UCLA and South Carolina. I would love, Dawn loved playing, these tough games, these tough one for ones, you know what I'm saying? So I would love if we did a 1-for-1 with the UCLA or against that other USC out west. That would be amazing for both West Coast teams. That would be the girls on our team will have the opportunity to go to LA. The girls in the LA teams have opportunity to come over to the South, maybe get some Southern barbecue, maybe get some real Southern fried chicken, maybe get some sweet tea and a good old biscuit, maybe get all those things, and it'd be great for women's basketball. I say maybe have this at the Hall of Fame game next year. Don't have it at the Mohegan Sun. How about have it at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte? How about that? There's a fun fact. We could try that one. Just throwing it out there. Have the best 2 teams in the country playing in the Hall of Fame game. That would be amazing. Just awesome. Shaquem, bro. So Ravens offense is weak. Raven had 1 bad game offensively, and you saying her offense is weak. Bro, really? Before this basketball game, Raven Johnson was shooting over 40% from the 3, 50% from the field goal range. Okay? Was one of the most efficient players in the SEC. She had 1 bad shooting game. Okay? Stop it. UConn and LSU. Adam Ritter. UConn and LSU are going to be hard. I don't see that. I don't see UConn and LSU, especially UConn. I don't see UConn being hard at all. Number 1, we're playing at home. Number 2, they ain't got Asia Fudd. Number 3, they don't defend worth a damn. I mean, what? Because Paige Beckers? I ain't thinking about no Paige Beckers against us. I mean, because Paige still got to guard somebody. We gloss over the offensive stats and blah, blah, blah. But you want to see this is a frightening sight. Malaysia Fulwiley got the basketball in Columbia, South Carolina, and Paige Beckers got her one-on-one. That's a frightening sight. That's the ESPN moment. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't afraid of no UConn. LSU so up and down. And LSU had one of the softest schedules so far in basketball. Their schedule is like 130th, 40th, something like that. I'm like, LSU is playing like LSU played last year, playing this Cottonelle soft schedule, and beating the teams they supposed to beat handily. And the team that the decent team that they played, they lost. They lost too. You know what I'm saying? So when we play them, just like every team that we play, you are playing the best team that's on your schedule when you play South Carolina. So only way LSU would scare me if Angel Reese gets some low post moves. That's the only way. If Angel Reese gets some low post moves and learn how to shoot a mid-range jumper, then I'm scared of LSU. Other than that, I ain't scared of no LSU. None. Not at all. Because Angel Reese sure ain't no Alissa Pili. Not at all. Not by the long shot. And they got Michaela Williams, who's nice. They got Anissa Morrow, who's nice. But everybody, I'll say we nice. And we better defensively. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about no LSU. I ain't worried about neither one of them. Show me, and UConn got to show me they could beat a decent team. Okay, that's what they got to show me. And I know they had a tough schedule, but I ain't worried about none of them. No. Joey Smith, you crazy, Ritter. You had us so not start. Oh my God. I don't know why Don went with Lay. Bree isn't in it. So, Shaquem, did you just I'm just wondering, bro. Did you just start watching? Like, Bree isn't any better. Bree been balling the last 3 games. The last 3 games, Bree has been putting in work. Today, she didn't shoot well. I mean, bro, Bree is, boy, gonna make me do another shot. Oh my God. Justin, yes, Michelle, we already knew Pili has a strength that not a lot of any girls in the country can handle. Yes, we don't see her much on the East Coast. We don't see her much. We just don't see her much on the East Coast. We see what we see. And then a lot of times the games are late. So this is great for the East Coast audience to see this young player who is outstanding against the best team in the country and still the best defensive team in the country. The girl got 37 against the best defensive team in the country. The South Carolina Gamecocks got the #1 rating in defense, and she put in work. Now, nobody else did anything on this basketball team today, but she put in work today. All praises, everything to her today. She made her money. What happens next? Taking away this 3-pointer from Utah was a strategy. The downside was no one could hold Pili one-on-one. She's good, but I disagree with the commentator that she won't play that position in WNBA. I tell you this right here. The way she plays, the way that Pili plays, and the way that she's able to maneuver around players that are so much bigger than her is straight up amazing. It's amazing. It is amazing to see. And then she can step out to the 3-point line and let it go. And she has a pure shot. She's a smart player. And this is the key. For the ones who are saying that it's not going to translate to the WNBA, they are playing, their style of play is what the WNBA and the NBA plays. They play this. That is the NBA right now in WNBA. Mostly threes, layups, no mid-range jumpers. They got a doggone horn when you shoot a mid-range jumper. You get a boo-boo. You get a sad face if you shoot a mid-range jumper. I don't like that style of play, but that's what they do. That's what she does. So with them being with them playing the way they play, I think it's preparing her for the WNBA. Now, the size that she is going against, Kamilla Carodoso is not a great defensive player by any means, but at the end of the day, she's 6'7" with long arms. Okay. Ashlyn Watkins is a future WNBA player, 6'3" with long arms and crazy athletic. You have to stop it. And till this day, nobody has stopped it. The only thing that has stopped her is fouls. It happened against Baylor and it happened against us. That's the only thing that stopped her. I just got to say it, y'all. Just got to say it. Yolanda Wells, this was a good game that had me nervous still thinking while I'm typing. It was a good game. Now, I wasn't like nervous like that. I wasn't nervous like that. I knew that we would prevail, and I knew that, we get stops when we need to get stops, because every time that Utah would go to the bench, we will make a run because our bench is better. Our players are better, So, at the end of the day, our depth will win most games that we play because we just better than you. But she is nice. She is nice. She is nice. What happens next? Aaliyah Boston knew how to allow spacing for blocking shots. Hope the training staff are working on it with the bigs. I'm sure they are. We're still the number one shot blocking team in the country. But with the way that Pili plays, she gets a body. She creates space, and she's wide. So when she creates space, it's really nothing you can do. I watched Charles Barkley play for his whole NBA career. Charles Barkley was 6'4", power forward in the NBA, and was outsized every time he played on the basketball court. And I know they listed him as 6'6". Charles Barkley was 6'4.5". And many times was top 5 in the league in rebounding and could score at will the basketball early in his career. So that is high praise for Ashley Pili getting comparisons to Charles Barkley. But as long as you can create your own shot and find ways to create your own shot and athletic enough and smooth enough, she got a place in the WNBA, y'all. She has a place. Christopher Jones, without Te-Hina experience taking over late, I think would have been the first loss today for us. Yes, I agree with you completely. Te-Hina Paopao is a difference maker for this basketball team. That's why we have her from Oregon. She is a difference maker in this basketball team. She's what makes us great, from great to elite. You know what I'm saying? We would have been putting up another championship banner last year if Te-Hina Paopao was on this basketball team last year. Easily. You know what I'm saying? She's the best shooter on the team. She's the best shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, Te-Hina Paopao is the best shooter in the SEC. And it ain't close. In one of the best conferences in the country, Te-Hina Paopao is the best shooter in the SEC. Okay? She's one of the best shooters in the country. Not a Caitlin Clark, not a Paige Beckers, not these players that ESPN is constantly talking about. Te-Hina Paopao has a better shooting percentage than both of these players. She just doesn't shoot the 3 16, 17 times in a basketball game. It just doesn't happen. She shoots in the confines of the system and of the play because we have other great players around her. Okay? So Te-Hina Paopao, like I said earlier, Te-Hina Paopao will be the reason we will or we will not win the championship this year. Her, Te-Hina Paopao, the transfer, who is ranked 7th in the transfer portal. Yes, Te-Hina Paopao will be the reason we win or won't win this championship, because we have a whole lot of great, really good players on this basketball team. But what we don't have in this basketball team is every single game we go in, we have the best shooter on the court. UConn, I'm talking to you. LSU, I'm sure talking to you. We have the best shooter on the court every time we walk out onto the court. Every time. That's Te-Hina Paopao. I'm a little late. It's time for another shot. And this is the Philadelphia shot glass. My wife and I flew out to Philly this past weekend. We went to see our son, who goes to Rider University, got an academic award. What do they call it? They call it Athletic Academic Award, where you got, like the GPAs and stuff. His GPA is like 3.6 or something. So we got recognized academic award. Just started the indoor season for track. So that's where we were this weekend. And shouts out to my kid, our kid, and cheers. Yeah. So great comments. Great comments. Bernard Thomas, what up, Cam Will? You're Bernard from the Met, Columbia, South Carolina. Tough win. I'll take a shot to that. My brother. Yes, take a shot to it. And cheers. I mean, if we this is the thing, y'all. If we continue to play like this, because all these other top teams are losing. This is Utah's second loss or third loss, whatever it is. This is Utah's second or third loss. I can't remember. And you have multiple teams. All the multiple teams are losing except with us and except for UCLA. So you have a lot of these tough teams that go in these tough environments and lose. That is basketball this year. So there's more parity. There's more parity in basketball now. So recruiting is so prevalent now. Transfer portal is wide open, so you can get better much faster now. So the teams of the past who have been, dominant, aren't so dominant right now. Okay, with the exception of a South Carolina who remains and still stands on business every single year. There's a reason why we've won more basketball games than any other team over the last 5-6 years. Over any other team. More basketball games. So, and I hear this stuff about, dynasties and things like that. It takes time to become a dynasty. You become a dynasty, over a length of time. And Dawn has been, this is her 16th year, and it took a while to get her core players together and the recruiting aspect and just become great. But to go from a dormant program in South Carolina to winning a national championship in 2017 and another national championship in 2022, could have easily won a national championship in 2023. And if the COVID year, I think we would have won a national championship in 2020. Those are, over the short term, dynasty type numbers, right? Now, there is no stopping this program to say over the next 10 years, okay? Over the next 10 years. If over the next 10 years, we say we won 3 championships, then it's type dynasty, okay? If we win a championship this year, that'll be 2 championships in the last 3 years, then you can have that conversation of talking about a dynasty. This ain't UConn from the past, which UConn will never get back to that level again. Let's be clear, because back in when it was that level, I know it's UConn folks who watch me and everything, UConn would never get back to that level. Because when UConn was so dominant, when Tennessee was so dominant, women's basketball was top heavy. But women's basketball is not top heavy no more, y'all. There are a lot of great teams in women's basketball now, okay? Now, why would South Carolina be favored to win 3 out of the next whatever championships? Because they always recruit well. They fill those goals and that leave into the portal or go to the W. And then they have, in my opinion, the best coaching staff in college basketball. That's why I think, So Te-Hina Paopao is a game changer and heaven sent. I agree with you, sis. I agree with you. Virgil White, remember, it's a team sport. We have many weapons on our team. Love it. We have so many weapons on this team. We have 9 McDonald's All-American. And I know somebody going to correct me and say, okay, we only got 8. Well, you're not counting Chloe Kitts because she came into school early. Okay, Chloe would have been a McDonald's All-American. She was a 17th ranked player in the class of 2023. So in Captain Will's mind, she is a McDonald's All-American. We have 9 McDonald's All-American on this basketball team. We have stars from 1 to 9, okay? We have elite players that could start for pretty much any other basketball team out of the 359 other teams other than South Carolina. That is how special this basketball team is. You got some freshmen putting out these video game numbers and Juju and Michaela, getting all these baskets. I would put, you put Malaysia Fulwiley on Southern Cal's team, she'll get the same numbers. She'll get the same numbers because you're going to take the same amount of shots, So same thing with LSU, just into the confines of this basketball team with South Carolina, the way we play basketball, everybody eats. Everybody eats. They share the ball well, unlike other basketball teams. So we don't need a player to get 35, 37, 40 points in a basketball game. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. The way we play, it ain't going to happen. What you will have is you have a 6, 5 players in double figures because we play the team ball concept. But, the Iowa style of play where one player is taking half the shots, that would never happen in South Carolina. Never, ever. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I want to see everybody play well. Everyone. All the starting five. All the bench players play well. That's what I want to see. Robert Arrington, hey, bro. How you doing, man? Yes, the refs were terrible, horrible, very basic. I wish I could have called the game today. You know, it was just terrible. There was a couple times that Pili had got a foul and they gave it to somebody else. I'm just saying. Last year's team would have lost this game. This year's team is better. I agree with you. This team is better because of Te-Hina. This team is better because of Te-Hina, and overall, our shooting is so much better. At starting the game today, we are, I think we're eighth in three-point shooting in the country. Let that marinate. Let it marinate in your brain a little bit. South Carolina Gamecocks, which were 160th, 69th or something in three-point shooting last year, is eighth in the country in three-point shooting. Yeah, South Carolina. One of the best three-point shooting teams in the country is the South Carolina women's basketball team. That is amazing, y'all. That is amazing. It's just so special. It's so special. Christopher Jones, captain. Rebecca Lobo would never say South Carolina is the number one team in the nation. All she says is the number one seeded team, big hate. You know what? And I caught that too, fam. I caught that too. She said they're the number one seeded team. She did not say that we are the number one team in the country. And I know it eats her up when she's voting on the AP poll that she has to vote South Carolina, give that first place vote to South Carolina. I know it eats her up. I know it. It's just like, just eats her up. But there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. There is nothing that you can do to bring down the glory of the South Carolina Gamecocks. There's nothing. There's nothing. Certain games like this, you hope we would lose. And not just Rebecca Lobo, but just in terms of other top teams or people who dislike Dawn Staley for whatever reason that's not even basketball related. You got people who hate her because of whatever reason, you know, and everybody gonna be like, I don't care if you don't like me. I can care less. You know what I'm saying? I am comfortable in my skin. So whatever somebody say about me, I learned that years ago. I don't give a damn who say something about me. And you got a lot of people hate me because they ain't me. I don't care. You know, I'm sure Dawn Staley feel the same way, you know? So, but when you comfortable in your own skin, it don't matter. It don't matter what people say about you. But just, you know, that stuff that went on last season with some of the racial comments and some of the, you know, like, I don't know. Y'all was here. Y'all know what was said. And this one is messy crap. You know, and at the end of the day, these are kids, these are babies, and I take exception to players or to people who talk about players or kids. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna talk my mess. I'm gonna say this, that, and the third, but I ain't gonna say nothing derogatory about any child because I got kids. Hell, I got 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't gonna never happen, especially girls. I got 3 girls. You know what I mean? So that ain't gonna never happen. But just some of the bad stuff that I hear, that I see, you know, it sometimes like it's just overwhelming. These babies, you know. Ref was so bad. We got a lot of stuff about the refs. Raven had a bad game. Yep, she didn't look like herself. Jack Nimmons, you're right. She had a bad game. She didn't look like herself. She'll be back. She'll be back. I ain't remember Hollywood. Hollywood puts in work. She just didn't play well today, and she'll be the first one to say it. You know what I'm saying? Players know if they don't play well. We all play sports. Most of us on this chat right now, on this live version of old crazy Captain Will, has played some type of sports. I don't care if it's pinochle. I don't care if it's spades. I don't care if it's horseshoes. I don't care if it's Monopoly. Yeah, I said Monopoly is a sport. It is when I play it. It don't matter. You know, sports is sports. So you're going to have your good games. You're going to have your bad games. But she is a special player and one of the best players in the SEC. She just had a bad game. But, you know, you're going to have players going to have bad games. You have other players that pick them up. It's going to be games where Te-Hina don't play well. Somebody going to pick her up. You know, it's going to be games where Kamilla don't play well. Somebody else will ball out. Now, there's been games early in the season where Raven picked up other players. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about that. You know, she might have a bad game, but early in the season, she was like the leading scorer in a couple of basketball games. It had 17, 18, 20,000 assists in the basketball game. You know, it just happened on this basketball game. We won the basketball game. She'll go back in the lab with a pen and a pad and put in the more work. That's all it is. I ain't worried about no Raven. Not at all. Warren G. Warren G. I love that name. Why didn't Chloe take a field goal attempt in the second half? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the context of the game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that happened. I like aggressive Chloe, but I also like a Chloe who plays within herself, you know. And I don't know. Jack Nimmons, Watkins is such a difference maker. She's the most athletic player in the country. Watkins is a athletic beast. Watkins is an athletic beast. 6'3". Most of the time, she's faster than the players on the court. She definitely can jump higher than anybody on the court. And when she's continuing to grow, she's just a sophomore. As she continues to grow, get better skills. Can I say stronger? I'm like, God. I mean, it's just special. Just special. Day T, Chloe didn't play much in the second half. She did not play much, a lot of minutes in the second half. You know, it was more along the lines of Ashlyn Watkins playing. Tiana, Raven's turnovers have been a pattern. I wouldn't say a pattern at all because, going to this game, her assisted turnover rate was 3-1. In terms of assisted turnover rate, which means you have more assists in turnover, I guess. Yeah. So it's basically like, okay, a good assisted turnover rate is 2-1. Okay. Her assisted turnover rate is 3-1. That's special. That's superstardom right there. 3-1 assisted turnover rate. Today, she just had 4 turnovers. She had 4 turnovers. It ain't going, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't going to happen against Presbyterian. It ain't going to happen against Bowling Green. And it's not going to happen against East Carolina. You plan, regardless of, the AP poll showed that Utah was 11th in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, family, Utah is not the 11th best team in the country. According to the net rankings, and that's the poll, that is the rankings that Captain Will lives and dies on, the net ranking, Utah was 4th in the country. 4th in the country. So no, you didn't have the number 1 team playing the number 11th team. You had the number 1 team playing the number 4 team, and which was essentially an away game because UConn fans was cheering for Utah. So Utah had a home game. We had an away game, regardless of where we were playing in Mohegan Sun. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. That the net rankings, and I'm going to be preaching about the net rankings all season long because I believe that more so than that doggone AP poll. The AP poll means nothing to me. Nothing. I cannot explain or magnify that more. I don't care about the AP polls. I don't care. AP poll is for TV ratings because it puts a number beside that team. You know what I'm saying? So if you actually look at the net rankings, which is the net rankings takes into account, of course, the wins and losses. It also takes into account the scoring margin. It takes into account where the game is being played. It takes into account the strength of schedule of the basketball teams. Those things ball up into a nice little computer formula and spits out the best teams. That is what matters to me. And that net ranking puts Utah at number 4 in the country, not 11th. This was a top 4 matchup. Live TV at 14:30 on a Sunday afternoon. With all the football and all these things going on, the number 1 and the number 4 team were playing today. Big girl basketball. You look at the net rankings. You know what LSU is in the net rankings? 20th. You know why they're 20th? Because their strength of schedule sucks. They have a terrible strength of schedule. So it don't matter. The AP poll justifies wins and losses, and the voters vote accordingly. So Utah is going to go down. Maybe when the polls come out tomorrow, the 11th ranked team in the country that lost to South Carolina by 9 points is going to drop in polls. Going to drop in the poll probably to, let's say, 13th, something like that. When in actuality, there is not no 12 other teams in this country that is better than Utah. There are not 5 other teams in this country that is better than Utah. Those are the facts. Those are the facts, regardless what the AP poll says. All right. So the lesson for today and the lesson for this year, don't rely, don't talk about, for my peeps, my folks, my lieutenants, don't rely on the AP poll. Those are people, a lot of time they're haters, and we can call them out. We can call out the haters. No, what matters to me is winning or losing basketball games, strength of schedule, scoring margin, all those things where you play. All those things matter to me because you have a strength of schedule that is ranked 200th. It is not in the same category of a strength of schedule is ranked 10th. That is not right. Okay. But AP poll don't take that into account. You know, the stats might show something different because you're playing a garbage strength of schedule. You spend a garbage strength of schedule, you're gonna win games and you're gonna have these astronomical video game like numbers. But then at the end of the day, those numbers don't matter when you're playing those teams that are so much inferior to you. That's why, like, when I do my rankings, I'm gonna do my net rankings tomorrow. I'm gonna do my Captain Will's rankings tomorrow. Only thing I take into account, if you play in a Power 5 conference, if you play in a Power 5, if you play in a team that's in a Power 5 conference, and I'm talking about ACC, SEC, Pac-12, Big Ten, all those conferences, that's what matters to me. We playing Presbyterian on the 16th. I don't care about no Presbyterian. I don't care. They ain't gonna factor in my rankings with no Presbyterian. No, it don't matter to me. LSU was struggling against Louisiana. I don't give a damn about no Louisiana. They was a tie at halftime. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. I care when you play other top-rated teams. And even more so than that, I care if you play, I really look at the top 60. If your net ranking is 60 or better, you classify as a good team to Captain Will. 60 or better. Okay? So that's what I analyze. So, and I know everybody think I'll just be having fun. I be joking, I be laughing. But Captain Will know basketball now. Captain Will know basketball. And Captain Will is a smart dude. I'm a smart dude. I ain't just a little old cat, retired cat. I'm a smart dude. You know what I'm saying? I got a few degrees. Believe it or not, Cat Will got a few degrees. So I look at the analytical piece to basketball and to see who is better. South Carolina's better than everybody. Strength of schedule is what it is. Great strength of schedule. Play top teams. Home or away. Neutral games. Don't matter. We had think about it right here. We got a lot of people watching. Right now we're 258, and I appreciate everybody who's watching your boy right now. 258 people watching right now. We're an hour and 11 minutes in. We played a neutral game against Notre Dame. First game of the season. We didn't even know what we had. Gamecock fans that have no idea what we had. None. We didn't know what we had. We knew we was replacing 5 starters. We knew we had 7 new players coming in. We knew all those things, right? But what we didn't know was we didn't know how or when or if those pieces that we have would gel together. And Dawn Staley scheduled a top 10 matchup against Notre Dame, top 10 team in the country. And they didn't schedule that top 10 team at home. We didn't play Notre Dame at home. We're in the safe confines of the Colonial Life Arena. No, we played them in Paris. Top 10 team with a place of 5 starters. And not only did we win handedly, we blew them out. Neutral game, right? Then we played that Jimmy V Classic. Played at North Carolina, their place. Played, or the ACC, SEC Challenge, that's what it's called. Then we played at Duke. Now we played at Mohegan Sun, neutral game, neutral area. So those are the ways that because we are a new team with a lot of young players. Don't get it twisted. We have a lot of young players on this team. You have Te-Hina Paopao, who's a senior, who's played a lot of basketball, but who still arrived at South Carolina this summer. Okay. Then you have, Kamilla Carodoso, who's been playing a lot of basketball. We got those 2 seniors. We got Sakima Walker, who came in this summer, who's a senior. That's it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have, Bree, first year starting, first year getting multiple minutes, who's a junior, but this is a first year getting multiple minutes. Okay. Then we have Sanaya Fagan, who's coming off the bench, first year getting multiple minutes. Okay. So we have a lot of young players on this team who are still learning to play high-level basketball, who are still the number one team in the country by a decent margin. So as we grow and as we learn and the best at the 9-game mark, we are still a long way from greatness for this basketball team, even though we're the number one ranked team in the country. It has the potential to go undefeated because I believe if we beat LSU, if we beat LSU and we beat UConn, I think we'd be undefeated going into the tournament. Those are realities. Those are the realities of this basketball game. Risky 3-3. Yeah, we didn't play our best game. Don will get on them about that. Check it on them about that. But it's like this. You have to with the young team that we have to measure, because you don't want to tear a team down. Oh, you need to do this, when it's a young team, you still want to uplift them and accentuate the goodness that they did, but also not demean them in a way that you don't get. They still get your point across, but you don't take away their confidence. If I'm trying to make sense to you, yeah, but she's gonna get at them. She's gonna get at them. They didn't play as well, but they still won the basketball game, and a lot of teams can't say that. A lot of teams would have lost to this Utah team today. A lot of teams would have lost to this team. Glenn Kamba would like to have seen Lay sub for Raven late in the fourth with turnover issues she was having. Glenn, I respectively disagree with you. I don't think Don trusts Malaysia in those tight game situations. And Malaysia didn't take care of the ball herself. Both of them had 4 turnovers. And Malaysia played less minutes and had 4 turnovers. So Raven is a true point guard. She's a true point guard, and she takes care of the ball. She just didn't take care of the ball as well today. Okay. Yeah. Risky 3-3. Can't wait for the LSU game. Can't wait at all. That's going to be so awesome. That's going to be awesome. Raven at times is nonchalant with the ball. I agree with you. On that. Michael Metzi. I can't remember if this is the first time you commented. I don't remember. I think this is the first time I shouted your name. Like the name Michael Metzi. If refs and turnovers aside, if we could have finished better at the rim, it wouldn't have been nearly as close. Raven blew the most wide open layup I've ever seen. Most wide, bro. I've seen a lot of blown layups, blown dunks, all those different things. It happens. It happens. The most uncomfortable thing, we all play sports and stuff. Most uncomfortable thing is a wide open layup. It's a wide open layup. It's a lonely feeling. Cause everybody watching. Oh, I better not miss. Ernest Boy, good afternoon, Captain Will. I must be honest, this game had me nervous. The refs were making calls against the Gamecocks. Pili is a straight score. Couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, it was tough. Tough game, but I like games like this. Games like this bring character, and you see what your team is really made of. So I really do like this. Yeah, Pili's a stud. She can't be guarded. A soft touch, great footwork, and never stops. She's a WNBA top 10 pick, James Jones. Pili is going to be a first-round pick in the WNBA draft. She is going to be an All-American. Forget that list that they had preseason. Garbage. Roll that joint up and throw it. that is not the going to be the All-American team. No, not at all. She is so nice. Tamika Holland, thank goodness for Paopao. Lights out. Raven played like poop. The refs were a little suspect to me. Also, Fagan is such a disappointment to me basketball-wise. Tamika Holland, thank you for the comment. Appreciate you. Paopao is special. She is a special player. Raven didn't play well. She did not. Not going to sugarcoat that whatsoever. She's my favorite player. She did not play well. The refs played like garbage. The refs were horrible. They were horrible with us, and they was horrible with them too. Horrible. They shouldn't get their paycheck. Horrible today. So many blown calls. So many. You can't have, so many players in foul trouble on both teams. That's not basketball. Yeah, Pili was the best player on the floor today. She was. She was. She's special. But she's like that every game. You watch Utah play, she's like that. She's like that every single game. We just don't see her much on this side of the map. Tony Cole, Bree played very well defensively. You can't keep her off the court. For sure. That is Breezy Hall played well defensively almost every game. She got to get her minutes. She has good length. She has long arms. She's a smart defensive player. Bree Hall is our best defensive player. Ashley Watkins is our best post player defensively, but Bree is our best overall defensive player. That is what it is. You watch Bree Hall play defense. She plays really good defense. You have a lot of players on the South Carolina basketball team who sometimes play that Olay defense, and then they switch everything. So, and Dawn talked about that earlier in the season. Good that their transition and their ability to switch works. But there are several times where somebody gets around one of our players, and then the next player will pick up that player and then play solid defense and so forth. But I'm more so along the lines of just playing good one-on-one defense, and then you don't necessarily have to switch. And Bree Hall is one of those players who can guard their person, one-on-one and keep it, in front of them. So you don't have to have a rotating player guarding somebody where they shouldn't be guarding. That's what I like about Bree. Will she hit her shots? She's been on a nice run these last few games, but defensively she's really good. Sean Hill, one thing South Carolina has to clean up is turnovers. I agree with you. We had 23 turnovers today. Now, some of those turnovers were offensive fouls, and some of those turnovers were suspect fouls, but it was some lackadaisical passes, today, and it was some things that we normally don't do. South Carolina as a team averaged about 11 turnovers a game, 11, 12 turnovers a game. That number went up today. We got pretty much double the amount of turnovers that we do on a daily basis. 23 turnovers is a lot of turnovers. And we played a really good team, but 23 turnovers, we're not going to beat most top-level teams. We're not going to beat UCLA with no 23 turnovers. We are not. UCLA is almost a carbon copy of us. They are almost a carbon copy of us. They got good size. They got a little bit more experience, but they have good size. They have good depth. They're a good basketball team. Maybe not as good defensively, but they're still really good, So we can't. We're not going to have our best showing against the best teams having that many turnovers. James Jones, somebody asked Coach Staley about not calling timeouts when her team is hemorrhaging the lead with unforced turnovers. James Jones, I will not be at. I'll probably be to another game until January because I'm not going to East Carolina or definitely not Bowling Green. And Presbyterian, I pass on that. So I'll probably go early January. If I get the opportunity, I'm going to ask her that question that you're asking about. But my answer to that question is essentially she wants to learn that she wants the young team to grow through those situations. I think she wants the young people to grow through those situations without calling a timeout. It's easy to call a timeout, and the only way you're going to grow as a young basketball team is going through those situations. You can't go through situations you call a timeout every time. We are going through a tough spot. Was it against Duke? And Duke went against a 15-1 run, a 17-1 run. I was also screaming, we need to take a timeout. We need to take a timeout. I really was, but I think for a young team, for a young basketball team, I think you learn more by being uncomfortable. Because what happens, we play in the tournament and we ain't got no timeouts, or we trying to save a timeout. And the teams ain't never been in that situation of uncomfortability, So that would be my answer. But if I get opportunity, I will. And Warren G, if she was 6'8" taller, she'd be number one pick. I wish Carodoso had half the skill set of Pili. She'd be unstoppable. Yo, I'm gonna be real with you. There ain't nobody in college basketball with the skill set of Pili. No one. There is no one who has her footwork and low post moves in the country. None. I think it makes her unique because of her size. It makes her unique. And it makes her her width and the way she uses her body is unmatchable for anyone in the country. Anyone. So if she was 6'8", she would be more unstoppable. But Carodoso and Pili are two different players. They score different ways. Pili scores that way probably because she is undersized. So she's been working on the moves for a long time. Carodoso hasn't had to because she's 6'7". She ain't had to, but she is unbelievable. USC was so afraid. This is for Austin Jackson. USC was so afraid to help on defense that they gave up too many layups. They were afraid of 3-pointers by Utah. Absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And Utah is a outstanding 3-point shooting team. Utah is one of the top 5 3-point shooting teams in the country. Against South Carolina today, they were 5 for 20. 5 for 20. You know what I'm saying? So that's a true statement. That's a true statement. We ran them off the 3-point line, but in running them off the 3-point line, we gave up some layups that we normally wouldn't do. Now against a average 3-point shooting team, we wouldn't have done that, but they are great. If Utah would have shot 50% from the 3-point line with 20 attempts, we'll be having a different conversation. And I'd be taking a shot for another reason, but we took away their and also this is one thing too. Don't be lost in taking away other good players on this basketball team. This is still a great basketball team, okay? Without their second best player, great basketball team, but you take away something and the other player, and me and Pili balls out, and she has a career day in 37 points, but still lose the basketball game by 9 points. Her best day still ended up in a loss by 9 points. Put that in perspective, okay? We are a team of great players, not a great player. Put that in perspective. Hey, Becky, can you bring me my drink? A lot of good information about Paopao. Thank God for Paopao. Tamika Holland, it was a good game. Gamecocks do best defense. Yo, any team that we play, they know that they are playing the best defense in the country. All right. Sometimes we give up baskets. That is basketball. But at the end of the day, the South Carolina Gamecocks have the best defensive rating in the country. Okay, that is South Carolina basketball. We always hang our hat on defense and rebounding, block shots, and we do all those things well. Now we're just one of the top 10, top 12 teams in the country and shooting the 3-ballers too. That's South Carolina. We are balling. Michelle J, so many great comments. I really do appreciate it. And while y'all commenting, and new people, make sure you hit the subscribe button too. Hit the subscribe button and like it and all that cool stuff to help the algorithm of YouTube and all that craziness. This is from Michelle J. Captain Will, glad Dawn scheduled these different style of teams win or lose, so by the time our team won't be surprised in March Madness. Good stuff. Absolutely right. Different teams. So you had a couple of teams in North Carolina and Duke who play very solidly defensively, slow the game down. Then you come up and play a team like Utah who shoot the lights out of the basketball, you know? And so you have multiple teams doing multiple things, playing well, and we still win the basketball game. We still win the basketball game. That shouldn't be, it should be commended. So we morph into whatever team does well. We morph into a situation where we still able to beat that really good basketball team, Now we have a lot of time in between now and the next time we play a really good basketball team. And that next time is against LSU, where we play an outstanding basketball team. Now, LSU is not as good as ESPN is saying they are. They are a good basketball team. They're not a great basketball team. But, they are what they are. In the net rankings, they're 20th. So they all right. They all right. It was James Jones. When they break down the tape, it would show Raven is playing like a robot. If the pass isn't there, she has to keep the ball or drive and kick to the open shooters. James, bro, thank you for the comment, first of all. I love when you comment and you appreciate it. I just think Raven had a bad game. And I know some people might say, oh, God, Will, you just a Raven homer. And I am. I love Raven's game. And but I just think she had a bad game today. It was tough getting a rhythm in today's basketball game. And I think it's just one of those games, man. I think it's one of those games where, just didn't play well. I think it's one of those games. And then when they go back and film study tomorrow and they review it, she'll see that what she did right and then she did wrong. Raven's a sophomore. We're not talking about a senior right now. We're not talking about a fifth-year senior. We're not talking about a player like Rakia Jackson who came back for a COVID year, okay? Raven's a sophomore who didn't play much, her tore up her knee in that third game, tore ACL. She's a sophomore, red shirt sophomore. She's learning. She's growing. And she had her first bad ball game in 9 games. Still finished with 4 assists, okay? Still finished with 4 assists. I had 4 turnovers. Still had finished with 4 assists. Warren G, there was one play that Pili just cut to the basket. Cardo was looking at the ball when she should have been watching the man. Yeah, it was. And I spilt my drink on that. I really did. I was like, whoa, what in the world? What happens next? Watkins has the most potential to me. I keep saying that she can be the X factor, but she has much room for improvement. Yes, she does. She has much room for improvement. She really does. Her being a sophomore and the strength that she displays and the strength that she will eventually be is really, really awesome to see as she becomes more comfortable playing basketball. She has a nice jumper. And we're only going to see the best of what she has. We're only going to see the best going forward. Fast forward 2 years from now when Ashlyn Watkins is a senior. Fast forward 2 years from now and how special she's going to be for us. Oh, boy. Russell Mims, Kamilla was held down because of the refs calling cheap fouls. Yeah, it was a couple times that she did not. She got an offensive foul when it was definitely not an offensive foul. 22 might have been flopping a couple of times, and she and Kamilla never got comfortable in the post, and she sat a good portion of the time. In the first half, early foul trouble, but this is the thing, right? Utah had a great plan. Y'all. She had a great plan. The coach had a great plan. So her having a great plan, had opportunity because thank you, man. So this is a chance for because it's like this right here. When you have South Carolina on the schedule, You have South Carolina on the schedule. You know you're gonna play South Carolina next year. Okay. You are game planning, you are scheming, you are doing whatever you can do. When you are sitting at home watching Wheel of Fortune, when you chilling watching Game of Thrones, when you're doing whatever, you are trying to figure out a way to beat South Carolina. Because going into the game, you're going to be undersized. So you come up with whatever junk defenses, junk offenses, whatever it can to make South Carolina feel uncomfortable. And that's what it was. Martini, y'all. Captain Will, our player had to adjust to the dumb calls from the refs. That's from Benny Shepard. Benny, what's up, bro? Hey, yeah. And the first half, we did not. We did not adjust well at all. We was in foul trouble. Second half, we did a better job with the fouls. And Utah did too. Utah did they switched off Pili off of Carodoso, and Utah don't need Pili playing any defense. Well, she don't play a lot of defense anyway, but they need her offensively. And she's so special offensively, so you can take some lapses defensively. So you switch her off, and so she don't get no bad fouls, and the refs, I think we could have had a much better game if the girls were allowed to play. If the girls were allowed to play, the game would have been more pleasant for the fans paying to see them and for the fans watching it on television. Like I said before, we're not watching or paying to see the referees make calls. We're not there. We don't want to see that. We want to see the girls play basketball. We want to see the girls play basketball and play basketball well. Robert, I don't know what Raven Hollywood Johnson was doing out there. Robert, fam, she just had a bad game. Jordan Glover, South Carolina should experiment with Tessa at the 4. She's a big guard that can defend and hit those mid-range shots that front court players pass up. You know what, Jordan? That is not South Carolina basketball, man. That ain't South Carolina basketball. That is other teams' basketball where they put a guard. So when you have 4 guards in the game, that's not South Carolina ball. South Carolina play 3 guards, 2 huge post players. That's what makes us great. What I don't want to see South Carolina do is conform to the norm and have 4 guards and a big. I don't want to see that mess. I want to see us. That's what makes us so unique at South Carolina. Well, we play 1993 basketball. We do. We play 1993 basketball. We have a big post, we have a big center, and we have a big forward, and we outbig you. Now we also, it makes us great. So every year you can count on South Carolina leading the league in block shots. Every year we're going to be one of the best defensive teams in the country. Every year, defensively guarding the field, every team going to shoot a low percentage. So because we always athletic. What makes this team here different is that our guards can shoot more effectively. Ravens shooting better, Paopao shooting great. Tessa can shoot it when she wants to shoot, or she gets minutes. Bree has been shooting the 3-ball well the last three games, and then today she was 0 for 3. But overall, we are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. Offense ain't a problem whatsoever. I don't want to do the 4-guard thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it like we are. Because next year, y'all already know about Adele Tack. If you don't know, Adele Tack, our 26th ranked player in the country, incoming freshman, tore up her knee. And she's out for the rest of the season. And depending on the recovery, we'll see how long that takes. And I'm also going to be having an interview with Adele Tack. I think I'm doing it on Wednesday. Doing it on Wednesday. And so that's going to come out later this week. And I'm going to sit down. We're going to talk. I'm going to chop it up about everything and recovery and all that stuff. But, Adele Tack will be coming in. She's 6'5", one of the best post players in the country. You're going to hopefully you have Sakima Walker coming back, who's 6'5" as well. So that the tradition of having those huge post players will continue at South Carolina, And that is what it is. And then you have a junior in Ashlyn Watkins, a junior in Chloe Kids, senior in Sanaya Fagan. You know, so just getting bigger, better, faster, all those things, man. All those things. Fulwiley is going to be a beast her junior and senior year. Risky 33. Yes, Fulwiley is going to be a beast her junior and senior year. So you have so when Fulwiley is a junior, think about this. When Fulwiley is a junior, Maddie McDaniel will be a sophomore. Maddie McDaniel will be a sophomore. You have a backcourt that's going to be freaking unreal. You have a backcourt that's probably unguardable. You're going to have two players in Maddie McDaniel and Malaysia Fulwiley who will be two of the quickest guards in the country. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Maddie McDaniel is the truth. She is the truth. She is elite. She is an elite ball handler. She is an elite shot maker, and she's a team first person. Okay? She is a little ball of fire. Think of it like this right here. If you've been rocking with South Carolina for a long time, think about when Bianca Cuevas-Moore was here. Think about when Bianca Cuevas-Moore was here. From New York City, when she was balling here. On the teams with Kiki and Ty Harris, you know, those teams. Maddie McDaniel is a bigger, more exciting version of Bianca Cuevas-Moore. Facts. Playing with Malaysia Fulwiley. That's what we're gonna. The future is so freaking bright, y'all. So Risky 33, you got me off of the tangent, but I like it. So Risky 33, when Malaysia Fulwiley is a junior, Maddie McDaniel will be a sophomore. Joyce Edwards will be a sophomore. Adele Tack will be a sophomore. Okay? Chloe will be a senior. Ashlyn Watkins will be a senior. Then who knows who we got in the freshman class later on, you know, for that 2025 class. Who knows? What if Aaliyah Chavez came to South Carolina? It is so many different, fam. Ooh, you get me excited. Because it's not just 24, not just 2023, 2024 season. I'm talking about 24, 25 season, 25, 2026 season. The future is so bright. And literally, Fulwiley is scratching the surface of how good she's going to be. Joyce Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, will be in uniform this time next year. 6'3", athletic like I don't know what, can block shots, can rebound the basketball, can handle the basketball, will be in a uniform next year, adding to the mix of what we have now. It's unbelievable, y'all. It's unbelievable what this team has and what this team will be, because it is no stopping this quote-unquote dynasty that South Carolina has had for the last 6 years. It is none. Warren G, AB way better than Cardozo. Those stats don't tell the story about because AB was double or triple team and had no shooters. I mean, yeah, AB is we throw around the topic or the words generational player. We throw around those words a lot. AB is one of the first or second best players who ever played at South Carolina. I was watching some of these all SEC teams, you know, that I think it was Carolyn Peck. I can't recall. It was she did her all SEC of all time. You had 2 Gamecocks on that team. 2. And those 2, of course, is the GOAT, and the second one was Aaliyah Boston. Okay? And this is all SEC of history, of basketball. And Aaliyah Boston was one of those 5. That tells how great Aaliyah Boston was. It is not fair to compare Aaliyah Boston to Kamilla Carodoso. It ain't fair. That ain't fair. You can't compare. Only player you can compare Aaliyah Boston to is Aja Wilson. That is it. No one else. So compare Kamilla Carodoso against Elena Coates. You know what I'm saying? Don't compare Kamilla Carodoso against Boston. That ain't fair. Henry Mack. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mr. J, you're absolutely right. I cannot agree with you more in terms of, Aaliyah Boston, a generational player. Yeah. JB, Chloe's D was suspect early, 6 foot from her man and arms up is not defense, no rotation either. The whole team's D was awful by South Carolina standards. You got to give the credit. Come on now. You got to give credit to Utah too. Utah's a great team, y'all. Utah team, we play our defense, but Utah make plays too. They are offensively, Utah is the most talented team in the country. Yeah, analytically speaking, Utah is the most talented offensive team in the country. And when I look at the stats tomorrow, I think it would still show that Utah is the most talented team offensively in the country. I think so. I'll check it out tomorrow when I do my show. So you got to give them credit. Yeah, we got the best defense, but if you play off the best defense playing the best offense, we gonna make some plays. They're gonna make some plays. That's basketball. And they got Pili. One of the best offensive players in the country. Now, we don't have a player right now on this basketball team that is a lockdown defender. We ain't got no Bree Bill on this team. We ain't got no Aaliyah Boston on this basketball team. Okay? We don't. We have good defensive players on this basketball team, but there's nobody on this basketball team with the capability of Aaliyah Boston or a Bree Bill defensively. No one. So let's keep everything in perspective. Now, we have really good defensive players that play as a team, which gives us our number one defensive rating across the board out of 360 teams. But today, Utah would have worked everyone. And Utah will continue to work every team they play. Again, they lost one game against Baylor. And in that game, Pili was in foul trouble. She still balled out against Baylor, but she was in foul trouble and they lost the basketball game. Today, she was in foul trouble, not to the degree she was against Baylor, and she balled out and they lost again. But offensively, they're a great basketball team. Darnell Baylor, too many times, Watkins, Cardoso, Kitts, and Raven then slide over to help out. I agree with you. Warren G, I saw Chloe go into a few screens and couldn't stop Pili. Nobody could stop Pili tonight. No one could stop Pili. Not Chloe, not Watkins, not Cardoso. The only person I think that could stop Pili tonight is playing in the WNBA, and that's Aaliyah Boston. Nobody could stop Pili. Nope. Chloe Buckets, like the name. Girly Girl 68. Love the name. Girly Girl 68. Gamecock fams, we must remember the best of the best players have bad days. Be grateful for the win and stay positive. Girly Girl 68. I don't know if you commented before, but I love the comment. I love your positivity. And you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The best of the best players have bad days. Michael Jordan, my favorite player of any sport known to man, or known to man and woman, of any sport. And Jordan had bad games. You have bad games. Those are sports. You have bad days at work. You have bad days in your relationship. You have bad days with your kids. All those different things. You have bad days. And today, we had a couple players who didn't play well, or definitely not up to the South Carolina standard that they have set, but we still won the ball game. And like Girly Girl 68 said, be grateful for the win and stay positive. You know how Duke is feeling right now? Duke is feeling some type of way because they lost against Clemson. They can't even sleep at night because they lost against Clemson. You know how Kara Lawson is feeling right now after losing this Clemson? Exactly. I would be feeling the same way. The same way. Robert said, nobody played well today. We won on talent. Well, Robert, my fam, I beg to differ. We had players that played really well today. Really well today. Te-Hina Paopao played excellent today. Played excellent. Bree Hall played really good defense today. Really good. We played as a team well. Did we have a lot of turnovers? Yes, we did. We have a lot of turnovers today. We shot the 3-ball well. We shot about 38, 39%. With 67% from the free throw line. We held Utah to 20% shooting? 5 for 20? 25% shooting at the three-point line, and who's the most prolific three-point shooting team in the country. We held the most prolific offensive team in the country below their standards. And we still won by 9 points against a great basketball team. Great basketball team, y'all. Great basketball team. Here's the thing. Utah is probably the best team that we're going to play during the regular season. He said, Cam, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Utah is the best team that we're going to play this regular season. I'm telling you the facts. Utah is a better basketball team than LSU. As of today, December 10th, Utah is a better basketball team than LSU. Utah is a better basketball team than UConn. They are. Utah has played a tougher schedule than LSU. Utah has not played a tougher schedule than UConn, but UConn has lost one of their best players, second best player, maybe the first best player, Asia Fudd. Utah's net ranking is higher, way higher than LSU, and higher than UConn. Ladies and gentlemen, Utah is a really good basketball team. If we play Utah again in the semis or the finals, Elite Eight, whatever the case may be, we see Utah again, it will be a similar game because Utah is really good. But we acting sometimes like we just supposed to dominate every team that we play. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going to dominate every single team that we play. Not every game. If we have 23 turnovers in a basketball game against really good teams like a Utah, like a LSU, like a UConn, there's potential for us to lose. There's potential for us to lose. The game was tighter than I thought. I thought it was going to win by about 15 points. We ended up winning by 9 points. I thought my fruition was going to come real when we was up by 11 early. Utah went on a nice run, hit a couple threes, and brought it closer. But do not forget, like I said before, like I said earlier, for the new ones who are on here right now, the AP poll sucks. Don't believe in the AP polls. For the new ones out there, Cap Will don't like the AP poll at all. Not a fan of the AP poll in any sport. Football, basketball, I don't like the AP poll. I don't like voters picking anonymity of teams because they don't watch every game. They don't watch every game. Let's keep it real. They do not watch every basketball game. You know who watches a lot of basketball? Me. I watch a lot of basketball. A lot of women's basketball. A lot of it. More than most. More than most. You know why? The reason why did I watch a whole ton of basketball? Because number one, I'm retired military. I'm retired for 5 years now. Yeah. So I have time. My kids are grown. My wife retired from the military. She's been retired, 7, 8 years now? 8 years? I don't know. A lot longer than me. 9 years. I don't know. She'll probably come in and slap me because I forgot. But I have opportunity to have time to focus on basketball and watch. I got ESPN Plus, so I see all the games. But you have a lot of teams, a lot of games, or you have a lot of AP posters because such and such lost this basketball game that they should fall in the polls. They should fall in the polls, not taking into account that they played a top great level team. If anything, Utah should actually rise in the AP poll. Utah should rise in the AP poll. They should not fall because they lost against South Carolina on a neutral court. They lost against the number one team in the country, number one defensive rating, top 5 offensive rating in the country, and they lost by 9 points. The AP posters, I know it's not going to happen. With this loss to South Carolina should go up because they proved against the number one team in the country that they belonged. And not only did they belong, Utah had South Carolina on the ropes a little bit, not much, but a little bit. Had a little doubt. So in my mind, according to the AP poll, Utah should move up. I don't care what other teams did ahead of them in the AP poll. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It matters when competition matters, right? Competition matters. Otherwise, we'll be scheduling Wofford and Francis Marion on the schedule every week. If competition matters, right? So Utah stepped up to the plate to play South Carolina in a neutral court. You know how many teams will not do that? Will not sign a dotted line to play South Carolina on a neutral court? Not to mention how many teams won't come to Colonial Life Arena to play South Carolina. How many teams? So many teams will not do it. But Utah did. And I said before, and for the ones who've been rocking with Captain Will for a while today, you already know how I feel about the net rankings. The net rankings are what I rely on. That's what I do. Utah is a top level team, so. And I stand on that. At this point on December 10th, Utah, according to our schedule, is the best team that we will play in the regular season. That includes LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, UConn, all of them. Utah. We will not play a more efficient offense this year in the regular season. I don't know what's going to happen in the tournament, but this year, we won't play another team that is efficiently and great with the basketball, with their cuts and their motions and their picks and all this different stuff that Utah does. We still won by 9 points in hostile territory. So don't lose. And that girly girl 68, and I go back to what you said, be grateful for the win. Be grateful for the win. Because we could have easily lost. If we have a game that has 23 turnovers against a top-rated team, we should lose the basketball game. But we did not. We won the basketball game. We are happy, but there's room for improvement. And we will continue to grow as a basketball team as the time goes. Our next game against Presbyterian, last time I checked, had like 800 students. So I didn't look at net rating for Presbyterian, but out of 360 Division I teams, I would say they are probably on the bottom percentile and we're going to run and we're going to do everything. We're going to score 100 points and ball out. But going against Presbyterian, we would learn absolutely nothing. Nothing about this basketball team. All lessons were learned against North Carolina, against Duke, and against this Utah basketball game. That is when the lessons are learned. Bowling Green, we might get a half a lesson. East Carolina, we might get a half a lesson. But don't expect no lessons learned against Presbyterian. Everybody will play. Everybody will play a lot. Everybody will eat. Everybody will laugh and joke and have all those great things. All those great things. But South Carolina is here. We are standing on business. We are 9-0. We are the number 1 ranked team in the country. And we will be the number 1 ranked team in the country for the foreseeable future. We have a great basketball team, great basketball team that is only getting better as they continue to play. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. I'm your homeboy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. If you're still here right now listening to me, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so we can continue to make this thing grow. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.